Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Trev back again. This time I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be doing a review of an anime slash manga. So if you're into that stuff, you like cartoons, you like anime, or you like action, comic books, this kind of stuff, you'll probably like this review and you might want to hear this. So this is about the cartoon show or the anime and the comic book Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Now they're called two different things, like as if they're two different shows, but they're not two different shows. They're the same thing. It's just in between the two, there's a time skip. Okay, and essentially, at the beginning of the show of Naruto, you start out with him, and he's a kid. He's just a kid, and then up at this current point where they're at right now, he is, getting into late teenage years, early adulthood. So this is one of the very few animes or mangas that could hold my attention for 400, 500 issues or episodes. I can't think of many others that were able to do that. I remember Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid was really exciting for a long, long time, but after about 200 episodes or so, I started to lose interest. This show, I actually haven't lost interest. Even after that many, twice as many, 400, 500 episodes or issues. I mean, that's just crazy. It's it's so much if you think about it, just so much material. So definitely, if you've never seen this show before, you should definitely check it out. But it's the type of thing that you might want to watch, because there's so much of it. You'll probably watch, maybe 5 or 6 episodes at a time, and you might do that over the course of a year or something to get caught up at this point. Now, one thing I will say right off the bat: skip the fillers. Find out which episodes of the show are fillers and skip them, because the fillers are not meaningful to the story at all, and I don't consider them to be canon. I don't consider them to be part of the actual story at all. So don't watch those, and this review is not about those. Those are shit. Everybody knows that. And if you've never really been into manga, that kind of stuff, or anime, essentially what happens is that they base the cartoon show off of the comic book. Okay, it's very close to it, almost exact. And after a while, the cartoon show starts to catch up to the comic book. And when it does that, unfortunately, they can't, go past the comic book. They want to stay behind it, essentially. So instead of just stopping the show and not putting out any episodes for like 6 months or something like they do here, they don't do that. They release an episode almost every week, all year round, every year. Year after year after year. That's why there's so much material. Every week there's something new coming out. The fillers will come in to try to get the comic book ahead of the cartoon show. So just find out which episodes are fillers and don't watch them, because they're not part of the actual show themselves. They're just filler. They're just garbage bullshit. It doesn't mean anything to the story at all. Now let's talk about the actual the highlight of this show. It starts out very good at the beginning when he's a kid. And it's kind of introducing you to the story, to the world, to who the characters are, that kind of stuff. And as the story progresses through Naruto, it becomes very interesting after about episode 20, and then it holds that interest all the way through to about episode 100. And it has a climax, and at around that point, between two of the main characters, where one of the main characters in the show becomes sort of, crosses over to the dark side, so to speak, becomes evil. And because I don't want this to contain any spoilers, I'm not going to tell you who or anything. If you've watched the show, you already know. And then after that happens, essentially, you have maybe, I think it's about 20 or 30 more episodes, and then you have filler for like a crazy amount of time. There's like 60 episodes of filler. And then the first show ends, Naruto ends, and Naruto Shippuden starts, which, Shippuden, by the way, means the Hurricane Chronicles. It's really, it's... I don't know why they call it that, the Hurricane Chronicles. I don't really know. It doesn't really have any meaning for the story at all, as far as I know. Anyway, so this is really where the story gets really good, is around when that starts, and right through to that. There's a group of ninja in the show that are called Akatsu. That's how you pronounce it, I think. And essentially, they want to take over the world, basically. For a better sense of the word, they want to take over, essentially, and their leader is very powerful, and he's OG, and he's found a way to to stay relevant, and so you've got these younger characters who are coming up, and they're going to try to stop him and this kind of stuff. And it just goes on through that, and lots of different characters come in, lots of different characters come out. Now, one of the problems with a show like Dragon Ball Z, because it was a very popular show, and another show that I remember going on for tons and tons and tons of episodes that I was into, was that there wasn't enough characters. The biggest problem was that there wasn't enough characters. Anytime there was a bad guy, it was like one-on-one, for fucking 50 episodes or 30 episodes. And it just, that was kind of stupid, because if you didn't like the villain, you wouldn't want to watch it. I personally didn't like Boo as a villain, so I wasn't interested in the entire storyline of that part. Whereas Naruto, I mean, the battles they have only might last, the big ones would be like, 3 to 10 episodes at the max, which is fantastic compared to Dragon Ball Z, which would have 50, 100 episode arcs of one villain, which was kind of crazy. So they've got way more characters in this show, and it's way more diverse, it's way more interesting. You've got more things happening. It's not all about the fighting and the action scenes. You have, plot twists and storylines coming out the wazoo. You've got different characters. It's kind of like a big long movie that doesn't really end, because you have all these different themes that come in with the different characters. And it's very excellent as far as the writing goes. The art is awesome, although it does vary at some points in time. It's fantastic overall. The manga is very good. I would recommend watching the anime for this story, and I would recommend reading the subtitles. Don't watch, I'm going to stress this, I can't stress this enough, don't watch the dubbed version. The dubbed version is horrible. The voiceover they use for Naruto is just like it's so bad it makes your skin crawl, man. That's how annoying the voice actor is for Naruto. And just the way everything about the show, you absolutely have to watch it in Japanese with subtitles. You can watch this on any website on the internet pretty much. If you just Google Naruto, anime watch online, you will find a website for it that has like every episode from the beginning until now, because that's how crazy people are about this show. I believe it's the most popular manga in the world and anime, and I think it's been that way for a long time, even though Bleach is very close, and I'm not sure if Bleach was ever considered more popular, but I don't think Bleach is nearly as good as Naruto, just because of the different themes and everything, and because of how much more interesting Naruto is, to me anyway. So I have to give this series as a whole a 10 out of 10. It's it's leading the way as far as, in my opinion, goes. There really hasn't been anything like it that's as good as this show, and it is for mature people as well. It's not just for kids. I mean, I know it's a cartoon and stuff, but there's a lot of mature themes in it, that you just wouldn't get in a lot of other cartoons and stuff. For example, you'll have characters that will die. A lot of characters will die, or are defeated by an enemy and killed, assassinated, this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff doesn't happen in freaking Pokemon and stuff like that. You don't get a guy getting his head cut off in Pokemon. You don't get a guy, who's stabbed 50 times, all this kind of stuff. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. It's got a ton of material. It'll take you a while to go through, but I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite cartoons and comic books ever written, if not my favorite. See you guys. Peace.